Hey, everybody. I'm going to talk about this whole thing with Liz Cheney. She lost. I'll be honest with you. I never really liked Liz Cheney, but at the exact same time, I'm in South Carolina. She's up in Wyoming. I couldn't give a flying fuck less. Her loss, a lot of us who are Trump fans are all excited about it because, oh yeah, Liz Cheney went against Trump and blah, 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 blah. And I get it. I understand some people's frustration and anger with her. But here's what concerns me, and it's not necessarily about Liz Cheney herself. I'm a conservative. Trump is not a conservative. Now, he may have taken on some of the conservative things, which is fine. I don't mind that. But he is not a conservative, at least not from what I've seen of his politics over the years. So that's fine. We can deal with that. But what worries me is that as a conservative, we've desperately tried to stay in the Republican Party because that's where we think it is. And the Republican Party loves to use conservatism when it's time to get reelected or get somebody in office. While I'm not accusing Trump directly of this, what worries me is that the true conservatives, the constitutionalists, the libertarians, if they're not saying, oh, yes, I love Trump, I love MAGA, 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 America first, then people are going to want them booted out of office. And we need all the real conservatives we can get. I don't know if Liz Cheney was a real conservative. I know she was a Republican, and I know that throughout her years of being in office, she voted the Republican way. I don't know if she voted the conservative way, though. But what I am concerned with is that people who are involved in MAGA, Trumplicans, and stuff like that are going to start booting out real rock-ribbed conservatives like myself because that guy doesn't support Trump 100% or even 50%. Now, yeah, I know there's rhinos out there, and I know we don't like rhinos, etc., etc., etc. But the reality of things is that if you lose the conservative base, not only in the Congress, but on the ground, it doesn't matter how many Trump people you have in there, there's not going to be anybody left to support the Trump people in there. And I don't know how many of these Trump people are for real, or they're rhinos, or whatever. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I like her because she's up front. She's a conservative. Yeah, she loves Trump, but she's a conservative. Dan Crenshaw, I don't know what he is anymore. I used to think he was a conservative, right-winger, all that good stuff. Now everybody's saying no, he's not, and from what I'm seeing, he isn't. I guess that's just what worries me so much, is that while, yeah, we're getting out the deadwood and the dandruff and the flotsam and jetsam that's in the Republican Party, but are we replacing it with just another rhino that happens to like Trump? Or are we replacing them with conservatives who are more America first than they are Trump? Trump is America first for right now. Okay, Trump is MAGA for right now. He gets in for another 4 years. I think he'll remain Trump. I think he'll remain MAGA. I think he'll remain America first. But then once he gets out of office for that last term, who are we going to stand with? Who's going to be the new America first? Who's going to be the new Trump? That's what worries me. We have put all of our eggs in one basket, which is Trump. And while Trump is a good man, and I think Trump will be good for America, I am concerned very deeply that unless Trump pulls a whole bunch of conservatives along with him and brings them in less than 1 to 2 years after he's out of office for his second term, and I do believe he's going to get a second term, we will go right back to where we were before Trump with a bunch of rhinos and weak-kneed Republicans who are not really conservative. They're just there. They're just Republican. And they vote Republican because they're in the party, not because they actually care about the country. They're there for an ideology, or at least to get rich. not because we put them in office to represent us to do what we are supposed to do. This is where Liz Cheney got her ass in trouble. She thought that her job was to stop Trump after a while, not to follow what her people wanted her to do. She is a representative of Wyoming, or well, she was, but she didn't do what the people in her district wanted her to do, so they booted her out. And that's no fault but her own. She can blame Trump. She can blame all these other people. Trump just saw the angst that the people in Wyoming had and said, well, why not use this? I don't like Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney, she voted on my side when it was convenient for her, but first chance she saw to get rid of me for whatever reason, she went for it. So she made her own bed and now she has to sleep in it. But I want to make sure that we don't throw other people in the same bed with her. Good people, the right people. I want all of you who are conservative to think on this. We got rid of Liz Cheney, but let's make sure we put our people, not necessarily Trump's people, but conservatives in there. Because conservatives will last a whole lot longer than Trump will. Conservatism has been around long before Trump was even born. So, let's make sure we get some conservatives in there who support Trump. But when Trump is gone, they're not going to fold and like, well, without Trump here, I don't know how to be a conservative anymore. Bullshit. Get some America First conservatives in there. That's what we really need. We need AFCs, America First conservatisms, American First constitutionalists, America First libertarians. That's who we need in there. We need an America First party. Tack it on to the Republican Party so that the American First Party can kind of, slap the ever-loving shit out of the Republicans when they start leaning into the left or they get lazy or they're like, well, we won, so, let's win gracefully and just not do any damn thing. Fuck that shit. Get your ass back over there in Congress and do your job like your representatives voted you for. That's what we need. Trump isn't going to give us that. We have to give ourselves that. All right, folks. Like, rate, subscribe, comment, and take care. Peace out.